Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into something literally every single one of us does, but probably rarely thinks twice about: buying groceries. I mean, the everyday act of just buying food is undergoing this massive, completely hidden revolution. It's transforming from, just simple aisles and squeaky shopping carts into a hyper-connected, incredibly tech-driven ecosystem. So let's just dive right in and see exactly what is happening behind the scenes at your local supermarket. Now, to understand why this industry is innovating so incredibly fast, we really have to look at the sheer mind-boggling scale of the market. The global grocery retail market is projected to reach over $17 trillion by the year 2034. That is an astronomical amount of money. And with margins traditionally running razor thin in the grocery business, retailers are absolutely racing to adopt new technologies. For them, it's literally adapt or die. Okay, here's our roadmap for today. 1. The hybrid shopping experience. 2. AI on the grocery shelf. 3. The rise of retail media. And 4. Building a sustainable future.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the hybrid shopping experience. We used to have to make a choice, right? Do I go to the physical store for that high sensory experience, actually seeing the produce, plus immediate access and stable costs? Or do I just shop online because I really want high convenience and rapid speed, even with the variable costs? Well, modern consumers, us, we no longer choose just one. We actually demand the benefits of both simultaneously. We want the sensory experience of picking our own fresh produce, but we absolutely expect the convenience of just tapping a screen for everything else. So this intense demand for both convenience and experience builds into what the industry calls the Omnichannel ecosystem. Retailers are blending these channels completely seamlessly now. If you've got a planned weekly shop, you might just use click and collect or curbside pickup. But if you suddenly realize, oh no, I'm out of milk for breakfast, you might turn to quick commerce, which aims for lightning fast 10 to 30-minute delivery times. And to actually pull this off, the physical store itself is doubling as a warehouse. They are literally using store stock to fulfill those digital orders on the fly. And to keep you coming back in this crazy hybrid world, retailers rely heavily on loyalty programs. There's this fascinating study of a supermarket in Valenzuela City that reveals income actually acts as a primary determinant of brand loyalty. It turns out middle to low income earners exhibit significantly higher retention rates with loyalty programs compared to high income groups. This kind of data is a game changer. It tells retail managers exactly how they need to structure their reward systems to create a real sustainable competitive advantage across different demographics. Moving on to Section 2, AI on the grocery shelf. So, behind the scenes of those shelves, there is essentially an invisible manager running the whole show. Researchers have developed an integrated framework using two very complex-sounding algorithms, LSTM and PSO. Let's break that down into plain English. Think of LSTM, which stands for long short-term memory, as a highly perceptive forecaster. It predicts sales volumes and spoilage rates based on tons of past data. Then think of PSO, or particle swarm optimization, as this ultra-fast, dynamic calculator that tweaks and adjusts prices on the fly to maximize profit. Together, they act as the ultimate, hyper-efficient, invisible store manager. To see how this actually plays out in the real world, a study conducted at an Asian grocery supermarket in Lagos, Nigeria, mapped out how AI uncovers these totally hidden patterns among different vegetable categories, pricing, and spoilage. It's really wild. The AI isn't just guessing. It is finding statistically significant interdependencies between, say, aquatic rhizomes and flowering vegetables. This allows the store to optimize its replenishment strategy flawlessly. And the direct result of all that heavy AI analysis? Dynamic pricing. Prices for items like aquatic root vegetables literally fluctuate daily. They move up and down based on incredibly precise predictive modeling of exactly how much stock is left, how fast it's spoiling, and what the local demand actually looks like that specific day. It's this brilliant, constant balancing act between recovering costs and maximizing profit. This exact same drive for ultimate optimization brings us to the cashierless evolution. Remember those incredibly thin profit margins we talked about? Well, to survive them, grocers are heavily adopting tech like computer vision, smart sensors, and RFID to totally automate operations. Systems like Amazon's Just Walk Out technology completely remove traditional checkout lines, which drastically streamlines in-store operations and removes a ton of friction for the shopper. Which brings us to Section 3, the rise of retail media. Okay, look up from your cart for a second, because retailers are literally transforming their stores into ad networks. We're talking closed-circuit TV, smart shelves that actively change their displays, self-service apps right there on your smartphone, and big in-store digital screens. These digital formats are absolute gold for brands because they intercept us, the shoppers, right at the absolute point of decision. Literally right when you are standing in the aisle, hand outstretched, ready to put an item in your cart. The crucial point here is captured perfectly in a recent Coresight report. Retailers have an absolute treasure trove of first-party data, thanks to those loyalty programs we discussed earlier. They know exactly what you buy, when you buy it, and how often. By leveraging this massive pile of data, they can deliver highly targeted, super personalized ads to you right inside the store. They're effective as turning the retail space itself into a highly profitable media network. And finally, Section 4, Building a Sustainable Future. So zooming out a bit, consumers are actively, loudly pushing retailers to adopt eco-friendly practices. We're seeing major industry-wide shifts toward recyclable and reusable packaging just to cut down on all that plastic. Stores are also increasingly prioritizing local sourcing. And that's huge because it not only supports local economies, but significantly reduces the environmental impact of long-haul transportation. Today's shoppers demand transparent and ethical supply chains, and retailers are finally making these visible changes to build much-needed trust. And you know what's really cool? This sustainability theme actually ties perfectly back to our AI manager in Lagos. By dynamically aligning the supply of perishable goods with predicted demand, those LSTM and PSO algorithms aren't just making the store more money, they are drastically reducing massive urban food waste. When prices drop automatically to ensure perishable items sell before they spoil, that food actually ends up on a family's table instead of rotting in a landfill. It's a huge win for the supermarket's margins and a massive win for environmental sustainability and local food security. So all of this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question. Will your next grocery run be entirely managed by an invisible AI? Or will the trusty physical cart and the sensory experience of shopping always roll? The truth is, it's a hybrid of both. The next time you grab a carton of milk or pick out a bundle of vegetables, just take a moment to look around. You are standing right in the middle of a $17 trillion high-tech, data-driven ecosystem. Keep an eye out for those invisible forces on your next shopping trip. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.